There was once a girl that got her period late. At 16, almost all her friends had gotten their periods like way before her. Some got their periods when they were 10, some got it when they were 12. And then she could not like follow up with this experience of running to the toilet, tying their school sweater around her waist, in the bid to prevent herself from being stained. She couldn't share with that experience. And to make matters worse, this period decided to not come the next month. Like, how is she going to explain to her mother that there's a chance that she must have gotten pregnant? Because her mom told her that playing around now that she's a woman is very risky. So, how is she going to explain to her mom that there's a chance that the kiss that she shared in school might have gotten her pregnant? Well, we will never know because that is not something that she would do. She would eventually go and tell her friends in school who might never provide enough insight as to what she's going through and might never be able to tell her that what she's suffering from is an irregular period. Welcome to Her First Talk, the podcast where we blend honest conversations with a touch of humor about sex, pleasure, and everything in between. I am Sophia, your guide on this journey of sexual education where learning is as important as it is personal. Now, before we dive in, a little about me. So, I grew up in a place where talking about sex was as hush hush as keeping a secret family. Like, I always had questions. I grew up very curious. And I wished for a manual because every single time I'm running to my mom to ask her something sexual, she looks at me like, what has come over this girl? And are you sure this girl is my daughter? She even asked me that once. He asked me that once. Is this my, what is going on with you? Are you trying things out in school? That's the answer I got. And sometimes what I will get is just wait until you're a little older. Spoiler alert, I am still waiting. Mommy, if you can hear this, I am still waiting. And that is the reason why I decided to create my own space to discuss what matters. This podcast was born from the need to break down these stiff taboos and deliver honest but very inclusive sexual education that feels real and relatable. And here on this podcast, we're not just talking about the anatomy and consent like it's some boring textbook. Nah, we are diving into the fun, sometimes awkward, but always important parts of being a woman. Today, we're kicking off with Sexual Education 101. So let's break down what that actually means. In this episode, would episode, did I just say episodes? Bear with me, okay? I'm excited. In this episode, we'll cover the basics, understanding your body, the importance of clear communication when it comes to desires and boundaries, and debunking myth that sex is only about physical pleasure. So think about it or think of it as your introductory course, a starter pack of sorts for navigating everything from bodily awareness to healthy relationships. So, first, let's talk about understanding your body because every woman's body is different. You need to know what works for you. It is about what works for you. Sexual education is about knowing what works for you. It's not just about knowing your anatomy, it's about figuring out what feels good for you. So, listening to girlies on TikTok talk about their experience with orgasm and all the rest might not be the brightest. It might not work for you. That ice block you have saved somewhere might not work for you. You need to know that it wouldn't. You just need to know, right? Because it worked for her does not mean it would work for you, right? And you need to be able to recognize changes as you grow. A girl that started her period painless might start feeling pain when she turns 25, 26. Your body's changing. It's okay. But because of the lack of, sexual education, this girl might turn to, and we know that there's an influx of aphrodisiac vendors that feel like they're from hell. They sell any and everything. One thing works for everything. And there's this problem of boric acid that somehow solves every infection problem. It is well, but if you are the type to be taking boric acid for everything, this is a PSA. Avoid boric acid. It is not good for you. You just need to know it isn't. So this is a foundation for a healthy approach to sex. You need to know what feels good. Watch your body. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body, listen to your reaction to things. Figure out what feels good for you and talk about it. Which brings us to communication. Communication is the cornerstone of every good relationship. Being able to express your needs and, equally being able to listen to your partner, right? Because it's not just about you expressing your needs, being able to listen to your partner, know what works for them as well, can transform awkward encounters into genuine connections that are built on trust and mutual respect. Yes, being able to tell him, oh, babes, that place you were ta in that time, it's just pain. I was not screaming because I enjoyed it. I was screaming because I was in pain and I was adjusting a lot because it was painful. Being able to say that is very important. It builds trust. Now I know that the type of men that we have, their ego is up the roof and they don't even want to hear. Like, telling them that is a blow to their ego. Like, what do you mean I've been hitting somewhere and it's not sweeting you? Like, we've been doing this for what? A while. But it's important, right? It's very important to be able to tell your sneaky link, even though I don't approve of sneaky links. I do not. But it's important to tell your sneaky link that that place doesn't work. So they don't keep doing that because it takes two to tango. Sex is for two people. It's not just about one person. It's for two people, and you should be able to speak up when you're not enjoying it. It's a waste of your time, babes. It's a waste of your time if you're just lying down there and you're not feeling a thing. You're not getting pleasure. Why are you there? I mean, you should be using that time to pick beans instead of just being there and not enjoying a thing, right? And of course, there are myths out there. For example, the idea that sex is only about physical pleasure. Now, while there are playful spirits, there's shared laughs here and there, it adds to the experience. Yes, it does. True sexual fulfillment involves emotional connection, respect. Yes, there's a dash of mischief that just somehow makes it all human, but it's emotional connection, respect, mental connection. In fact, mental fulfillment. It all comes together. Now, there's a running joke that in the university where we see female lecturers that are grumpy, and we just automatically assume that their husbands are not doing them well. You know, we have unknowingly tied starvation, as in sexual starvation, to lack of fulfillment and lack of satisfaction, like overall satisfaction. So, what does that tell us? That tells you that yes, you must have noticed. I mean, we're adults here. You must have noticed that whenever you finally do have, uh, um, I don't know, have sex with your partner, maybe after a while, you kind of feel like there's a fog in your head that just lifts. You're no longer very angry. You're now, you know, able to take on the world. Just you're able to take on the world now. Things are not as bad as you thought it were, or as bad as you thought it was. Rather, like everything just seems nice. The world is now, they are now ponies and butterflies and strawberries. Everything is now colorful, right? You notice that is the mental part of you. It's all encompassing. So the idea that sex is only about physical pleasure, it's crazy to me. I don't know who started that, but if I find that person, I will keep that person. I'm just kidding. But yeah, you get the point. Now, before we move on, I would love to hear from you. What's that one thing you wish someone had taught you about sex or sexual health when you were younger? Drop me your message on my social media handle, the book owl on Instagram, TheeBookowl on Instagram, and the book owl _8 on TikTok. And if you feel like whatever you want to share is too personal, you can hit the link in my bio on Instagram and you'll find a confessions link that you can drop whatever it is you want to talk about there. Remember that your questions and your insights will help shape future episodes. This is for both of us, okay? So, as we wrap up today's episode, remember that starting the conversation about sex can feel awkward at first. But once you find your rhythm, it transforms into something beautiful and empowering. Now, in our next episode, we'll dig deeper into the practical side of understanding your body, exploring more about anatomy, setting the stage for important conversations. So, if today's talk resonated with you, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let me know how it went. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think we should have talked about more? Let me know. Your support not only helps this conversation, it doesn't just spread this conversation, it ensures that no one ever has to sit in silence again, or in confusion, or in anger. All right. So until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and never be afraid to speak your truth. See you. Love you. Mwah.